Living in Japan with my family, having all four of my kids being born here in Japan, 3 in Misawa, 1 here in Yokosuka, it's definitely been a unseen blessing.
Hi, welcome to the Black Experience Japan's Melanated Files. My name is Ranzo, and the purpose of this series is to highlight the Black people living in Japan. Who are they? We share their stories. Remember to find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at the Black Experience Japan, and subscribe to this channel for weekly videos on the Black Experience in Japan. Let's get into the interview.
My name is James McDonald, and I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. Born and raised. Oh man, actually military, Air Force. I arrived 2008 at Misawa Air Base. Spent about 8 years there. Recently, not too long ago, about a few years ago, moved down with my family here in Yokosuka. So it's a little different. Total, I've been in Japan about 11 years, actually 11 years on the 25th. So pretty much a good, nice little decade and some change, so I like to keep moving. I actually separated from the Air Force 2014. Went on transition to be a full-time student to kind of finish my degree, which will be this April. Also kind of went to work for the hospital as well, just recently as well. So it's been a little bit of experience working with the Navy, is transitioning from, Air Force to Navy, but the city life, being down here and working in the country in Misawa is a little stark contrast. So there's no snow, so I love it. What do I like most about Japan? I would have to definitely say safety is number one thing that kind of drawn my wife and I to call Japan home. Once we moved to Misawa, we noticed that it was maybe a 4 or 5 year old kid walking the streets, around maybe 9, 10 o'clock at night. And we were thinking around like, okay, there's not an Amber Alert. What's up with this kid? Does he need help? But then after a while, we start seeing it on a regular basis and say, oh, okay, well, this is how it is. This is the culture of Japan, and how like to instill and empower the younger kids to kind of be independent. So, and of course, like I said, it's a little dramatically less crime here. So it's something we definitely wanted to do and stay and raise our kids. Living in Japan with my family, having all 4 of my kids being born here in Japan, 3 in Misawa, 1 here in Yokosuka, it's definitely been a unseen blessing in certain aspects, to where my wife and I, she's a school teacher as well, a kindergarten teacher. We like to present our kids with the best possibility and best options, in life, and have different variety of options to pursue, as they grow older. So what better way for them to not only excel within different parts of education, but have a safe environment where they can, grow in. But also my 2 older ones, and hopefully my younger 2 as well, will follow suit, but just to learn the actual language as well. So being, a young Black kid growing up in Japan, be able to speak a different language, number one, but 2, to have that language be Japanese, and just to experience a different part of the world, just to add a different wrinkle, a different option within, what they like, as far as what they can do growing up. So growing up in Japan, I was able to, well, not for me, but for my kids, I was able to provide, like, maybe I got them involved in karate. So with my Shindo sensei up in Misawa, Koryumaki Dojo, we were able just to kind of present them with additional, going to Yochins, learning their language, going to school, seeing the little kids, but also, hey, this is the part of their culture as far as the martial arts. And this is how they interact, in different natures. So better experience those 2 avenues, and just like I said, being a Black family here in Japan for this long is definitely, like I said, an unseen blessing. It's something that my wife and I has been blessed with to have an opportunity to take part in, and also to be here for this long. Something that we would definitely call Japan home is easy. So living stateside, you got your house, you got your home, you got your cars, your friends, your family, stores, restaurants. You gotta make a little concessions here in Japan, but once you better the small little adjustments, it could say once again, it's easy to call Japan home. There's a difference between living on base and off base. On base, I can only tell you what my friends have told me in the experiences I've seen just briefly by working on base and things of nature. It's not much a difference between being on base and then being in the States. You know, where there's folks who have never left the base in months' time, and you know, they'll get to the gate and they'll turn right back. You know, my mindset coming to Japan was that I wanted to be in the community, I want to be in the neighborhood, and be around as much Japanese people as possible. You know, this is only, you know, I approached it as being a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So, once again, I like to barbecue, I smoke briskets, chicken, whatever. So as I'm doing this outside, especially here in Misawa and here in Yokosuka, you know, my neighbors will come up and say, oh, you know, they'll smell the chicken, and you know, I may prepare some and give them a little bit as well. Next, you know, they're bringing me fruits, vegetables, giving my kids sweets, candy, and things of nature. And then, of course, we always say, you know, food always brings a lot of, you know, people together. So another difference was, of course, trash. That was the thing we had to adjust from being in Misawa to Yokosuka, where we pay for the trash pickup, so we'd be able to just dump any and everything for the most part within our trash, and they'll pick it up with no problem. Coming here, quite different. Quite different. A little bit of a little problem here and there, but once we got it down to where we could separate the consumables, burnables one day, and then the next day plastics, PE bottles, cans, aluminum, things of that nature on certain days, and better figure out, okay, these are the days that I need to do, and then oils, you got to prepare that another way. Bulk pick up certain, you know, big, massive plastic items as well. It'll be another day. So learning the schedule in that regard was different. Being off base, I think, you know, we came here, I think we lived in Kikoba, and we wasn't near a train station. So having the opportunity to move again, we made sure that that was one of our things we needed to be closer to a train station, and have that influence to where we can leave the cars at home and be able to bounce out. So, but as far as, like I said, any differences before living on and off basis, just interaction with the people, having your neighbors, you know, being right there, and you know, once again, and sometimes when I have to barbecue, I want to smoke, especially in the summertime, I got to make sure my neighbors' clothes are not outside, because, you know, I don't think they want that barbecue flavor, that smell within their clothes. So, but other than that, you know, it's just, you kind of learn the ways with the neighborhood and making sure your area is clean. You don't want to be that one American, like you brought up, and oh, that's the American house, and oh, you know, they're not taking care of it and that kind of deal. So, but once again, just being in interacting with your neighbors, I think that's the key deal, because you know, the different experiences they can provide. You know, I have a friend of mine, older guy, pulls me to his house during Christmas, and his house is full of, you know, his family members, and I just wanted to say, hey, you know, maybe give him a cup, you know, those little butter cookies, and just say, hey, you know, Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, and next thing we're staying there for like 3 or 4 hours, you know, whether I know a little bit of Japanese and he know a little bit of English, but it was all smiles at the end of the night. So, you know, I don't think I can actually experience that being on base as well. So the busyness, the city life, the city feel, we'll be able to, like right here, we're in Yokosuka, have the trains available, buses, able to read certain things about Japanese history and have it more accessible. I mean, of course, you know, Tokyo is about a good hour and some change away from here. Misawa, it's real country, rural, more of a close, small-knit community. It's easy to kind of get to know the restaurant owners, business owners on a first-name basis. You know, so like I said, it's being up north and having a lot of snow, and like I said, you don't have the business, you know, like I said, being in the city, so it's definitely a lot more quaint, but you kind of draw upon one another to create your own kind of fun. So it's a little more slow, but it's just a different kind of fun up there. But I'm definitely learning and enjoying the city life down here in Yokosuka. It has to be sushi. It has to be ikura, it has to be maguro, tuna, salmon, pretty much all that spectrum. So I like to try different things as well, try to find out different dishes to try. But sushi, that's the key thing, to where you have a few plates of sushi, have a nice little cold glass of sake to wash it down. As you know, I'm a little older now, so I'm lights out. What do I like the least about Japan? I would definitely have to, that's definitely a hard one. I would have to kind of lean towards the, oh man. I think it's just being a foreigner and trying to adjust different ways of doing things. You be able to adjust, but if you may mess up or the way they treat foreigners, I never actually had the experience personally on that side of time, more so as far as being ticketed by the police and things of that nature, and further on down those lines. But the way they handle things and just the kind of the structure as far as law, not a big fan of it, but I think just more so just kind of stay clear from those type of deals, and hopefully, I want to experience anything like that. But I think that right there is the first thing that comes to mind as far as what I do not like the least about being here in Japan. So once again, I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. It's kind of weird right now. I don't have a Kansas City hat on, but at one point, my friend of mine, we were walking in the city, and I had a Kansas City Royals hat on, and a jersey as well. And a group of the young little boys, Japanese boys, swore up and down that we were Major League Baseball players. And we tried to explain them. This is early on as far as me arriving here in Japan. I tried to explain to them, say, hey, we're not Major League Baseball players. I'm not, I'm not a professional in that. I don't have millions of dollars, but they just went along with it. So my friend and I, we had a nice little laugh with that. So it's definitely a funny situation. So I wish I was a Major League Baseball player, at least without the check. So best life advice: keep family close. You want to cherish the day because it's definitely not guaranteed. So, and of course, family doesn't always come in the form of blood, but also the relationships that you build, over lifespan and your journey. So, have some type of faith in a God and keep that close to your heart. And like I said, once again, family, and then live, laugh. I would definitely have to just say once again, just love. That's the key thing right there. Love. All the other stuff can be overcome with that. So you coming out of a good spot with love and try to pursue different things and different relationships and try to live the best life you can, whether it's opportunities and careers. You have a love for that, or you want to travel Japan and experience and expose different parts of being a black man or black woman within Japan, loving that. I think that's the key thing right there. I can speak to the world. Just sorry, once again, it's kind of cliche, but love. Definitely, as a black person coming to Japan, you definitely want to approach it with open mind. Open mind is I cannot say that enough. There's going to be different experiences. Once again, growing up in the States, you're used to certain things, different culture, different way of doing things. Coming here, it's a whole new ballpark. So, you come to their country, trying to assimilate, trying to adjust enough to where you learn their culture, their way of doing things, but also still being true to yourself. I think that's definitely a key important factor that you can do. But I've seen it to where, families and the American families, they would come to a restaurant and they complain, hey, why isn't this menu in English? Where are you in Japan? So come out, try to learn the language as best as possible if you can, whether it's just greetings, hi, how you doing? And it will take you far. You just build upon that. Once again, just have an open mind coming here. So, because it might be certain things you may not agree with, maybe a slew of things that you may agree with, but you take that and just, once again, approach it with an open mind, and you'll be fine. Can't find me online. No, you can find me on Instagram, Mr. Nazo, as well. You can find me on Facebook as well, James McDonald. But Or you can find me out here in these streets. No, it's just, I don't have a firm online presence like that, maybe Facebook and Instagram, but that's about it.
Thank you so much for watching. If you or someone you know would like to be featured, send us a message through our Facebook page or Instagram at the BlackXJP or via our website, blackxjp.com. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.